Welcome to beautiful Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Tonight on the SEC ESPN Network, nationally ranked college gymnastics comes your way. The Penn State Nittany Lions, 4-0 on the campaign, ranked 14th in the country, challenging the LSU Tigers, 4-1-1 on the season, and number 3 in the land. Welcome into the Maravich Center, everyone, with former two-time LSU All-America Kaylee Dixon-Abood. I'm Lynn Rollins. Kaylee, let's look in the rearview mirror. A week ago, LSU traveled to Missouri, a top 10 team out of the SEC, and LSU scored very well in coming home with a victory.
LSU had an incredible night, scoring 197-675, getting a top 10 SEC road win. They led the Missouri Tigers after every single rotation, and that helped them take home the W.
And certainly one of the reasons for that score was the output of Kaylin Chio. She's a sophomore. She was the SEC Freshman of the Year last year. Her numbers are big again in 2026.
She is incredibly consistent. You'll see just from that Yurchenko full and half, she sticks it nearly every single time. Her floor, she put us a 9.95 last week at Missouri. And then we cannot end this segment without talking about her balance beam. She was nearly perfect, scoring a 9.975, and all of those huge numbers tallied up to help the LSU Tigers bring home the win.
Indeed, you're looking at one of the most accomplished gymnasts in the season already, and only a sophomore. Now let's look at Penn State's success this year. The uneven bars has been a very good event for the Nittany Lions.
They are ranked 8th nationally, and last week against Rutgers, they went 49-4-5, the third highest score in program history. So I'm excited to see what they have for us tonight on the uneven bars, because they should put some outstanding numbers up on that event.
This place is rocking and rolling as it always is for the last several years. Nobody in the land has outdrawn LSU for gymnastics. We are among 13,000 of our closest friends tonight here in the Maravich Center. They love this sport. It has been blossoming for several years now, and it is a very tough ticket.
It is so hard to find an empty seat here. Mardi Gras is going on, and honestly, this PMAC is still packed. Fans are here, ready to cheer on the LSU Tigers.
And LSU has competition from its softball team tonight, because the Tiger Classic tournament is going on not far from here at Tiger Park. But we go back to our attention in gymnastics. And right now, the season is about a third over. It's kind of nearing the halfway point. Still a lot of gymnastics to go. But both of these teams feel pretty good about where they are right now.
They're both coming off of great Friday night meets and weekend meets last week. And they're looking to improve upon their scores. As we get on in this season, they are going to want to compete against the rest of the country, because that NQS score for regional placement is quickly approaching.
A couple of years ago, LSU won a national championship under Jay Clark. He was the co-coach of the year in 2024, and certainly he's been a huge part of the resurgence of LSU gymnastics, taking over for the legendary Dee Bro a few years ago. There's Sarah Brown, 3 straight NCAA regional berths, advancing to the 2024 regional final. And here's something amazing about the Penn State program. The first 36 years of gymnastics at Penn State, the Nittany Lions went to the NCAA tournament.
That's truly incredible, and Sarah has done a phenomenal job. The scores this season from the Nittany Lions have been in the 196, 197 range, and I know they're looking to climb from there.
So we are just about set to go. We'll give you the lineups in just a moment. LSU will be starting on vault. Penn State, of course, on bars. Lexi Zeiss, the sophomore from Omaha, Nebraska, up first as we get this meet started. Penn State and LSU.
Lexi went 9.775 last time out. And that is just about as good as you can ask for. She was working on that in warm-up, and it came true when she needed it. She nailed that landing, and that full and a half, we talk about it every single time. It is so difficult to stick because of that blind landing, but she had no problems.
She stuck that like like a toothpick in a club sandwich. So a good start for LSU. And coming up on bars, it's this Penn State team.
Ellie went 9-7-7-5 last time out. The first person on each event really sets the tones. They're looking to start off strong here. And a little over on that handstands. That will be a deduction, but she was aggressive trying to hit that vertical. Full out dismount, small hop on the landing, but overall a really great start for Penn State. Just that release up to the high bar. Swings right back down into a pack salto. And then that full out dismount. We'll see what the judges think of that one.
Well, we go back and look at Zeiss's vault score, 9.875. A good start there for the Tigers. Here's
a really
Connor
strong
McLean.
Start. They want to build from there, and Connor McLean up next is the person to do that.
And this is one of those gymnasts who has made a name for herself nationally out of Las Vegas. When you put all the names of the truly greats in the country, she's in that on that list.
100%. Let's take a look at this vault. Yurchenko layout full in a completely laid out position. That vault starts from a 9.95, but if you do it as well as she does, you can get very close to that perfect score of a 9.95. Watch her body shape. She could have held on a little bit longer to get that stick, but that was pretty close to perfect.
We'll see her quite frequently tonight. Here's Jessica Johansson out of West Hartford, Connecticut. Bars average of 9.781 this year. Monahan, by the way, scored 9.7 as the opening bar performer.
Johansson is an integral part of every bar lineup. She was in 2024, really making her name a strong part of the uneven bar team, and you can see why. She's incredibly consistent. Just hitting all those handstands. Just needs to go for the stick here. She almost had it. She tried to fight for it, got that chest down a little bit. Is that Tkachev? Overall, not a bad start for the Nittany Lions over there on bars. A few things that are going to add up 10th-wise, small mistakes, but overall a decent start.
Let's go back and look at McLean's vault score, a 9.825, which matches her season and career high.
Courtney Blackson up for LSU. Yurchenko full and a half. Little bit under-rotated with that step backwards. That's why that landing is so hard, but we'll see what the judges think. There definitely will be a landing deduction on that one. Kind of got a little buried on the table there. Kind of stopped her from popping off the horse and getting that rotation all the way around where she really wanted it.
Next up in uneven bars for Penn State, Elizabeth Leary.
Here's Elizabeth Leary out of Raleigh, North Carolina. 9.850 has been her bars average this year.
She's one of the all-arounders for Penn State. She got a 9.825 last time out. Line change into a straddle Jaeger, right into a bail. That last handstand, line full, into a double tuck dismount, and she sticks the landing. It's the kind of momentum they need over there on bars to get those little details correct, because the judges are taking note of every single thing.
Both Monahan and Johansson preceding this bar performer scored 9.7. Courtney Blackson also 9.7 for LSU on vault. Here's Amari Drayton out of Spring, Texas, looking to improve her vault average of nearly 9.7.
She got a 9.95 last week and has won the vault title for the last 2 meets. That Yurchenko full and a half is sky high. So beautiful, so much amplitude, a small hop on that landing, but it's because she has so much power. Completely straight in the air. Just a really, really nice vault.
Well, as you mentioned, Kaylee, she's had some big scores. A 9.95, her season's best. And her career high, nearly a perfect 10 at 9.975.
Next for Penn State, Ava Cash.
Here's Ava Cash, a first-year gymnast from Raleigh, North Carolina.
.875 was her score last time out. She's definitely going to want to match that or get a little bit better to help up this bar score a little bit for Penn State. It's a blind full into a double tuck, and she sticks the landing. That should be a good one and continue that momentum for Penn State over on the uneven bars.
I think you're absolutely correct. That could be one of the catalyst performances. Let's go back to LSU vault and Amari Drayton, 9.925.
There's another look at that double tuck dismount. Stuck perfectly. Really great routine from Ava.
That was dandy, wasn't it?
It's beautiful.
Now Kalia Lincoln.
This is another very powerful vault. She does it just so well. Yurchenko full and a half. You have to have some really big amplitude off the table. She has just that. Her body's completely straight. Took that small hop forward, but again, that's just because she has so much power.
Barstool for the Lions. Ava Cash, 9.75. Next on bars for Penn State.
Ava Cash on the Penn State bar scored 9.875. You see the running score there on the right side of your screen as we bring you Penn State, LSU, first rotation nationally ranked gymnastics from Baton Rouge. Here's a young lady who did not compete at all last year because of an ACL tear, and she is potentially one of the best gymnasts for Penn State.
She is one that they depend on all 4 events. She had some trouble last week on this event, so I know she's definitely looking for some revenge on the uneven bars tonight, looking to put up a big number. Full out, small hop on the landing, but overall a really great routine. Not many deductions in there, very clean.
Ball score for the Tigers, Kalia Lincoln, 9.875.
So we are waiting on the score for Abra Piedrahita, and we'll pass it along as soon as we get it. Now Kaylin Chio. Watch this vault carefully. It combines speed, courage, agility, strength. This is one of the finest collegiate gymnasts already, only in her second season, out of Henderson, Nevada. 3rd in the country in this event.
And that's why she's 3rd in the country. I think this is her 5th consecutive meet sticking that vault. I could be wrong, but she's stuck it the last few times, and it's incredible because, like we talked about, it's so hard to stick that landing. She just knows exactly where her gymnastics is. She flies off the table, she spots the landing, flares the arms out, and gets the stick.
That's like dropping a javelin from a helicopter.
It is. Haley Bryant loves it. She's hyping up the crowd because that is an amazing vault.
What will her score be? You know what this crowd of 13,000 is looking for. Meanwhile, Danny Latronica out of Lake Worth, Florida.
She got a 9.925 last time out on this event. See that piked Jaeger. Handstand right on top, down to a bail. She is not only a leader on this team, but a strong force in the lineup, especially on bars. That was a beautiful routine, full of difficulty. She nailed the details with those handstands, and that should put up a good score.
By the way, Chio's score, 9.975, just a scotch below perfect. Now Nina Ballou. This will be an exhibition vault.
So it's really good for the girls to get competition, feels in the arena, feel that landing, because it's a lot harder than it is in practice. So these exhibitions really give them a great opportunity to feel those landings, get used to this environment, and also helps the coaches see how they would do when the lights go on if they were to be called on and put in the lineup. Here it is again. Yurchenko full and a half. Landed short. She didn't quite have enough power off that table, but that score will not be counted towards LSU's total. It's just for her, and so she knows what she needs to go back and work on a little bit. Again, just getting more height off that table, but we go back to bars for another exhibition gymnast.
Kayla Bender.
Nice blind change into a straddle Jaeger. Bails to handstands. Setting up for that dismount here. Nice double lay and gets that stick. Another replay of that dismount.
Latronica, by the way, for Penn State, had a 9.8, anchoring the bars competition.
It's Victoria Roberts out of Baton Rouge. She does a front vault, which is not commonly seen. It was very good. She had that step on the landing, but great to get her out there, get her used to that event and see what she can do.
So after one rotation, LSU 49.475, Penn State 48.975, an early lead for the Tigers over the Nittany Lions.
Yes. She has the most electric personality.
Let me tell you a story about the coach who vaulted women's sports to new heights.
Dee Dee was in the trenches.
The impact that she had on all our athletes, that's going to be her legacy.
An SEC storied film, The Fighting Tiger, Friday, February 13th at 10:30 p.m. on SEC Network and the ESPN app.
That's a don't miss show, Friday, 9:30. And there was a preview here a few days ago. This place was packed with Dee Dee Bro admirers and fans of gymnastics. Her career, of course, she was a coach for you in your career, about 2/3 of the way through her long, long tenure. But look at some of the accolades for her, and that's just a start.
And it doesn't even begin to cover her journey from starting in the field house when nobody knew about women's athletics and gymnastics and just
Nobody
her
could
fight.
spell gymnastics at that point.
Exactly, and so she really paved the way. So I'm sure for her it's incredible to see what was then to now a packed PMAC. The buzz is LSU gymnastics. Everybody absolutely loves it, and just to see the legacy that she's built and all that she has inspired for young women that she's coached, it's truly amazing.
And with all of these accolades, with all of these honors, with all of these Hall of Fame considerations and memberships, if you talk to her today, the thing that she's most proud about is looking around this building with 13,000 people. Gymnastics is the second largest drawing sport per event behind football in the 21 sports at LSU. Now, if you would have said that to anybody a few years ago, they certainly would have paid you no attention. But it's amazing. It's amazing what Dee Bro's enthusiasm and influence has made on this sport in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And it's truly because of her. I mean, when I stepped on campus for my recruiting trip, she made all the difference in making me feel at home, and her enthusiasm, it exudes out of her, and her enthusiasm has built everything that you see today, and it's just incredible. She has so much to be proud of, and I know all of us are happy to have just been a small part of her journey.
Congratulations to Dee Bro. We'll be back with more gymnastics. Penn State and LSU. Rotation number 2 coming up. LSU, the Tigers with 49.475. That score amassed on vault. And Penn State on bars countered with 48.975. These teams will switch positions right now. LSU will go to bars, Penn State to vault, as we continue with this non-conference meet, but nonetheless certainly a meet of significance with the hot start Penn State has had this year. Now, this is the first nationally ranked opponent that Penn State has faced so far in 2026.
They're going to want to show up tonight and put up a really big road score so that they can go back home with a big, big win.
Elizabeth Leary leads it off.
It's about as good as you could do that vault. That was a really strong start for Penn State. She got a 9.75 on that vault last week. Nice straight line position. Went for that stick.
First, on the uneven bars, for your Fighting Tigers, Lexi.
Now Lexi Zeiss up first on the uneven bars. Her average 9.875.
Lexi's a big contributor on vault and bars. She competed in all 15 meets in her first season last year. She got a 9.925 on bars at the podium challenge. So she's capable of putting up a really big number here. Full out, small step on the landing, but really that was the only big deduction I saw in that routine.
The best bars routine as a team this year for LSU has been 49.55.
Is that release up to the high bars? Hack salto down to the low.
And you know, Kaylee, nationally, in the 4 events, LSU has racked up a 3rd place average and a 5th place average. This is one of the events, bars for LSU, that the Tigers are ranked number 3 in the country.
Ava Cash for Penn State. She just got a stick on that vault. Yurchenko layout full, building some momentum over there. See it again, small hop on the landing, but overall a really solid vault.
The team vault average for Penn State this year, 49.031, and that's number 18 in the country.
Next on bars, for your Fighting Tigers, Alexis Jeffrey.
Here's Alexis Jeffrey from Warrensburg, Missouri, a veteran.
We haven't seen her on bars. We didn't see her last week. She was a staple in this lineup last year. She's got beautiful lines on this event, so I'm excited to see her back in this lineup. She's got a beautiful toe point. Her ankles are glued together. See if she can stick this dismount here.
That's a shame because she had really good elevation on that release, but just came down awkwardly.
Yeah, she kind of lost her rotation a little bit, and so she stalled out in the air. Release, back down to the low bar. And then that dismount again, you'll see it kind of stalled out, and then she just dipped way too low in that landing.
Ava Cash's score on the Penn State vault was 9.8.
Just another look at that vault. So she had that big hop on the landing. She over-rotated that a little bit, so that will be a deduction, but she had a lot of power. Madison Ulrich getting ready over on uneven bars for LSU.
Madison Ulrich.
She's had nice scores this year, 9.875 on average.
She's been a tremendous addition to this LSU team. She went 9.925 last time out. That was a season high for her. She transferred here. She is a junior, and she's just been an incredible addition to these lineups. Looks like they're deliberating about Jeffrey's routine. A lot of times they have to get together, make sure everybody saw the same elements because the score needs to add up to a 10-0 start value. So a lot of times if it does not because the athlete had too much of a deduction on something or maybe they missed something, they like to get together just to be sure. So I bet that's the conversation here.
And if you've just joined us, LSU launched its vault effort tonight with a season's high score of 49.475. So the Tigers, after one rotation, with a noticeable lead following a season's high effort of 49.475 in vault.
Madison's getting ready to hopefully go again. The judges are ready. It's always the worst having to go back to the chalk box, re-chalk up, and kind of get iced a little bit. So she's going to want to stay loose and stay in the game after that little bit of a longer break than she should have had.
Allison Kempfer on the Penn State vault, the last performer, was 9.675. Here we go.
Capable of a really big number on this event. She's gotten a 9.975 on this event throughout her career. Close to perfect. Huge back salto. She's got a gorgeous toe point too. Last handstand right on top. See if she can get this stick. Double layout, she nails the landing, and that's the kind of momentum LSU needed after that last routine to kind of pick things up and show them what this bar lineup is made of, because all of these girls are truly incredible and capable of such big numbers over here.
So after Alexis Jeffrey with that bad dismount or release, 9.675, LSU comes right back on the event with a big score. We'll wait for it.
Danny Latronica over there on vault. Powerful vault. Will have a significant landing deduction for that step and kind of hop. You'll see it again. Tons of power on that full, but piked back and took that step.
She's one of the emerging sophomores providing leadership for this team. She had a really nice freshman campaign. Let's see what's brewing here. The crowd coming alive at full throat.
Score on the uneven bars for the Fighting Tigers, Hattie Ulrich, 9.95.
Ulrich 9.95. And that exceeds her season's best and is just slightly below her career best of 9.975. Chio on bars.
She was just excellent on every event, but she is beautiful to watch on the uneven bars. Got that blind change to a Horkina. Very well done. Super square when she caught the bar. Full out dismount with a stick.
That smile says it all, and the crowd erupts.
They are certainly building some momentum over there on bars, and that's exactly what they need to really get things rolling.
How close to perfect is this?
I'm going to say pretty close. She caps it off with that stuck dismount.
Jessica Johansson now for Penn State.
She is a grad student. 9.9 is her high over here. Really great vault. Small hop on that landing, but very well executed otherwise. Set your Chenko layout full again. Very nice.
9.90.
Caitlin Chio's score of 9.9 has just been introduced or announced to the crowd, and it does not meet with approval.
They definitely wanted a 10.
Courtney Blackson for LSU. Look at that bars average.
She's incredible. I love her story. I love her as an athlete. She is ranked number 5 on this event. 9.925 last time out. A 2-time All-American. Just another great addition to this LSU team. She even holds every element, which I love. That handstand. You just can't get much better than that. It's another Horkina. Setting up for that dismount.
Oh, wow. That is pretty darn good.
It was great. She was really going for that stick, you
Yep.
could tell. And so a lot of times, I'm sure she sticks that 9 times out of 10, but when you try to stick it, a lot of times it's not there. You could tell she was definitely wanting that stuck landing. But that was a really great bar routine.
Johansson for Penn State on vault was 9.8. Now Piedrahita, again coming off that ACL last year. She did not compete. One of the leaders on this team and a fine gymnast.
They are definitely happy to have her back. And look at that vault. Very well done. Small step on that landing, but that was really the only deduction. She had so much height and distance. Let's check it out again. Really well done. You don't see that entry on the table all that often, so it's nice to see a different vault.
Score on the uneven bars for the Fighting Tigers, Courtney Blackson, 9.825.
Courtney Blackson with a 9.825.
Tiger fans, please welcome to the uneven bars.
And Connor McLean on the bars right now. Her season's best, 9.95. Her career best, a 10.
She is another one that's beautiful on every event she competes, but especially on uneven bars. Her toe point, release moves. She executes everything so incredibly well. Full out dismount. Small step on the landing, but what a great routine. handstand again. Into that release move, down to the low bar. Another look at that dismount. An exhibition for Penn State over on vaults.
Piedrahita, by the way, was 9.775 for Penn State on vault.
Yurchenko layout half, another blind landing, very hard to land. She had a lot of power, took a small hop, but overall very well done.
Ballou, the first-year LSU gymnast out of Boca Raton, Florida, will be an exhibition competitor here, a mass communications major.
See how Nina does on this event. Piked Jaeger. Toe handstands, down to the low bar with a bail. Handstand to finish things off before the dismounts. And she nails that landing. She knew it was good. That's what it's all about.
You can tell she's got high potential in the future, just a first-year Tiger.
She does, and that's why I love these exhibitions so much. It really gives the athlete the experience without it counting, just to see what they can do when the time comes. See that dismount again. She's like, did anybody see that?
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the second rotation of tonight's gymnastics meet. Goodness, this is the 2-minute transition.
Well, as we get set for the next rotation, first we're going to have a brief word with Sarah Brown, head coach in her 8th season at Penn State. And she is getting set up to go here as LSU, through a couple of rotations, has a lead over the Nittany Lions. Sarah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Get all situated.
Your Penn State team, over the course of the history of college gymnastics, has been one of the forebearers, been one that's been extraordinarily successful over a long period of decades. What's the potential for this team this year?
You know, it's been 62 years of Penn State gymnastics, and we have a rich tradition, like you said. Right now, we're just looking forward to being in front of this huge crowd and celebrating the sport, celebrating women in gymnastics, and being able to show off everything that we can do here at LSU.
Sarah, you guys have had consistent scores this season, 196, 197s. What's been your message to the team? Because obviously it's working.
Thank you. It's been a really great season. You know, we had some hardships and some setbacks last year. This year, we're just focusing on being grateful, showing a level of gratitude that we get to every single day, and then being able to do everything we can in the biggest possible, most fun way. So we're having a great time with this crowd. I think we're a little tight on landings, but I bet these next two events go really well for us.
Sarah, thank you for coming down south and providing competition for LSU. Safe trip home.
Thank you.
Sarah Brown in her 8th season as Penn State head coach, and certainly the tradition of getting into postseason play continues under her leadership. We will come back with the next rotation in just a moment. State 98.75 to 97.75. LSU will be on beam when we resume action, and Penn State will be on the floor. With Kaylee Dixon-Abood, I'm Lynn Rollins, and we are absolutely thankful for your participation wherever you may be watching as the LSU Tigers look for their 5th victory of the year. This a dual meet with Penn State out of the Big Ten. By the way, let's get you caught up on some softball scores today. LSU beat Nevada 6-2, currently losing to NC State 5-1 in the 3rd. We'll take a timeout and be right back as we get started with rotation number 3. Starting the meet at 49.475 and followed that with a 49.275 on bars. Very solid scores to take a 1-point lead halfway through this Penn State LSU meet.
So far, everything is going well. A few mistakes here and there. I know that bar score is a little bit lower than LSU wanted, but they're coming up on a really great event for them on balance beam. They're ranked number 3, and they can put up a huge number on balance beam. So they're getting prepped and ready over there to see what they've got tonight.
Cohen, Zeiss, Drayton, Lincoln, McLean, and Chio for LSU on beam. Leary, Monahan, Missouri, Johansson, Kramer, and McElligott for this Penn State team on floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the third rotation of tonight's NCAA gymnastics meet.
LSU's next opponent will be Auburn. That's on the 13th of February. And then Oklahoma and Alabama. The Oklahoma meet is on the road. Auburn and Alabama are here.
Kylie Cohen up first for LSU on balance beam. She has a season high of 9.925 on balance beam.
This is one of my favorite events of anything in sports.
It's incredibly difficult and takes a lot of concentration and practice.
And faith.
That handspring layout step out. She had a small balance check there. Switch leap to split jump. Her 9.925 came last season at the regional finals, so she typically does really well under pressure, which is who you want in your beam lineup, especially first up. Round off double full, nails that dismount. Great lead off, had that small wobble on that acro series, but overall a really solid start. Just that front aerial to beat jump. Another look at that stuck landing.
And that shot we just showed you illustrates the 4-inch wide beam. There is no room for error.
Elizabeth Leary up for Penn State first. Her average is a 9.75, but last week she got a 9.85 against Rutgers. Penn State last week, they also got as a team a 49.025. So they're looking to improve upon that and get a little bit higher tonight. It's a really nice double full to punch front.
Penn State ranks 18th in the land in the floor exercise, averaging 49.131. Cohen started LSU's beam with a 9.775.
Leary's setting up for her next tumbling pass. 4.5 punch layouts. Really strong start for Penn State over on floor exercise. She had a lot of powerful tumbling. She had difficulty and she made it fun. It's another look at that first tumbling pass. Front handspring double fold to punch front. She made that look easy, but that's an incredibly difficult element. It's an E element, one of the toughest you can do. And then that last tumbling pass.
You know, Kaylee, as we turn our attention back to LSU on beam, there was a time that the Tigers had some problems on this event, but not so in recent years. They're ranked 3rd in the country right now with a 49.444 average.
They have quite the beam team, and in the words of Dee Dee Bro, the team that wins beam wins the meet, and she is so right, because beam is definitely the make or break event.
So it's a DBT, Dream Bean Team.
Lexi's doing a great job so far. She got a 9.85 last time out.
The best beam score this year for LSU has been 49.65.
She does that wolf turn, and everybody loves it. It's so hard, but really cool to watch, too. Gainer full off the end of the beam, and she sticks the landing. I don't know what deductions the judges are going to take on that one. She did a great job.
Her teammates love it as they rejoice.
It's a front aerial. It's back handspring step outs for her acro series, and then that dismount. You don't see a lot of people do a gainer full off the end of that beam, but she does it, and she does it well.
Monahan on the floor exercise for Penn State now, following Leary's 9.85, a good score.
Ellie got a 9.8 last week on this event. Looking to build off of Leary's 9.85. Your first person should be that benchmark, and then the goal is to go up from there to really build those scores. A punch double full. That's another really difficult element she did first.
This is a new floor, by the way, for LSU this year.
Yep. Takes time to get used to different floors at different venues. Some are a little bit firmer, some are more bouncy, so you have to alter your tumbling every single time you go to a new arena.
Let's check in on Lexi Zeiss's beam score, 9.875.
What a great routine from Ellie for Penn State. High fives all around for that one. It should put up a pretty good score. See that first tumbling pass again. Front layout to a front full.
Now here is Amari Drayton, another exceptionally fine beam performer.
She's ranked number 7 on this event. She went 9.925. She's broken into this beam lineup, and she's a powerful gymnast, but she calms it down on this event and uses her power and grace to her advantage. She had a little problem on that series, but she covered it up well, taking a step back to try to eliminate that wobble. Switch leap to a split jump. The judges there are looking for a straight line in that split, 180 degrees for no deduction.
Don't try it at home.
double full. Small slide on that landing, but a very good routine. She fought to have everything perfect, and I think she'll do well on that score.
She was spinning like a gyroscope on that dismount. Watch this.
She wanted that stick. It was close.
Bella Missouri now for Penn State on the floor.
9.775 against Rutgers last week. You'll see a lot of different dance and choreographed elements in each routine. A lot of those are required elements. The gymnasts have to have a change of elevation going from feet to on the floor. The judges are looking for that, taking note of it.
LSU's beam score with Amari Drayton is in. It's been posted at 9.8. And I think that's a fair score.
I think so too. She had that small wobble, and that was the deduction. Ella's setting up for her next tumbling pass. Front full to a punch layout. She sticks that landing. Very clean routine.
You know what's heartening as you look not only at the size of this crowd, which, as we've said before, at 13,000, averaging the second best of any sport at LSU, just behind football. But along with the numbers come an understanding of what this audience is viewing. They are applauding opponents' good scores when they recognize outstanding gymnastics.
Yeah.
And yes, you don't have to know the names of all the things that you're seeing when you first come, but there's an osmosis to this, and you start to understand, okay, that was a 9.85, and here's why, and it just adds to the enjoyment.
It's true. The fans know what they're looking at. Here we have Kalia Lincoln over on balance beam for LSU, and she is another one that has just been incredible. There's so much to say about this young lady, and she's making her mark on this team for sure.
Well, her season's best is 9.925. That's also her career best.
Her gymnastics is huge. She's so powerful. She gets so much height on all of her elements.
Only two teams in America have turned in better beam scores on average than LSU. The Tigers are ranked third in the country on beam.
Switch leap straddle quarter.
Missouri on Penn State's floor was 9.825 in a very nice routine.
Just that dismounts, and she nails the landing. That should really get the momentum going for this beam lineup. Their scores have been a little bit lower than they're used to, but Lincoln should put up a really big number for them. It's that front aerial to back handspring for her acro series. And here's another look at that dismount. Really well done.
Indeed so. And that's spelled S-E-A-U-X. Now Jessica Johansson. This has been one of her best events, 9.812, her average.
So double
That's
tight.
impressive.
Very nice. You'll notice she uses that 4-inch mat in the corner to kind of ease the blow on her ankles. It's allowed, it's not a deduction. Setting up for that next tumbling pass. 1.5 to punch half. She's got great lines, powerful tumbling. Another great routine from Penn State. They've been incredibly consistent over on floor. They've stuck their landings. They've gotten their teammates involved in their choreography, trying to make it fun, make this atmosphere their own. It's another look at her tumbling passes.
Penn State came into this rotation trailing LSU by a full point. We'll see if they can cut into that LSU lead. Here's Connor McClain. Oh, how good she is on beam. She's at a 10. Her season's best is 9.95. This is one of the best in America on the beam right now.
She was the 2024 SEC beam champ. And the list of accolades for her go on, and she has not been here her entire 4 years yet, so it's really cool to watch. Switch leap to switch half. Her height off the beam, again, her toe point is just, it's so beautiful. Front aerial, she had a little bit of a wobble there, so she's gonna have to think of something. She had a back handspring layout step out. She was supposed to connect those elements, but she thought on her feet so that she could get that acro series connection and have it count. Side aerial. That's another really difficult element to do on beam. Anything front or side, so hard, but she does it so well. She sticks the landing. Should really get things going. I mean, this beam lineup is just stacked. These girls are capable of such big numbers, and that's why they are so good on this event. It's another look at that leap series. Her legs actually go over 180 degrees on that.
Alyssa Kramer now on floor exercise for the Nittany Lions. She's a hometowner.
Alyssa Kramer got a 9.7 on floor last week. So we'll see if she can top that. They have scores in the 9.8s going so far. So to break into the mid to upper 9.8s is what you're wanting here. It's her leap series. Another leap element. Taking a few breaths before she does her next tumbling pass. Rudy to a back layout step out. Your two salto connection that you have to have. It's a required element that the judges are making sure that the girls do. Overall, a really nice routine. She had fun music. She had those powerful tumbling elements, so hopefully that'll put up a good score above that 9-8 mark for the Nittany Lions. There's that front double full again.
Chio is going to be coming up for LSU on beam. She's at a 10. That's her season and career high. Connor McLean scored 9.85. This is usually something extraordinary and special.
She is ranked #1 in the NCAA on balance beam.
Say that again.
And there are a lot of good beam workers in the NCAA, and she's
And right
#1.
now, this is the best.
This is the best. And she deserves it. 9.975 last week. Perfect 10 the week before. Shows how consistent she is. Front aerial to a split jump.
The confidence in which she attacks this routine is coming to the forefront every time out.
She just knows exactly where each element should be. She's comfortable in her gymnastics, and she does it so well.
Rock solid. I see no deductions yet, do you?
I don't either, Lynn, but I'm scared to say that out loud. Back handspring, full and a half.
Oh, wow!
I don't know, did you see the judges move their pins at all?
We will anxiously await the rendering of that routine.
It's that round off back handspring mounts.
This is why you buy a ticket right here.
100%. It's exactly what you expect from Caitlin Chio. Confident, consistent, beautiful gymnastics.
Talia McElligott is up now out of New York, a junior. 9.869 has been her average this year on floor.
Last week, she shared the floor event title with her teammate Leary. So she's going to be one to watch, especially anchoring this floor lineup. Should expect a big number from her. Opening with a double tuck.
And a lot of elevation.
Last week she got a 9.85. Kramer before her got a 9.875. Let's see if she can match that or build on it. Round off full and a half to punch layout. Very well done. A really solid floor lineup from Penn State. Landings were good. Everybody was really consistent. So I think that that floor score is going to be something they're happy with.
It took all the restraint I could muster not to interrupt you for Chiao's score, but it is not a 10, but pretty close, 9.925.
All right. All right. I am not a judge, so I do not know exactly what the deductions were, but all I know is a really great beam routine.
I know one judge had her at an even 9, the other with a 9.5. So
Another exhibition over on balance beam for LSU. this is a really important event to have an exhibition on because it can rack your nerves. And it seemed like that was a beautiful beam routine.
For LSU.
And of course, you get the advantage at home of winding up on floor, and beam is your third event. But if you're on the road or in multi-team competitions, it can change things a lot.
It can. So you have to know that everybody that you're putting in that lineup is comfortable no matter what the order of events are, because it does. It matters.
Exhibition opportunity on floor for the Nittany Lions, Allison Kemper.
Hugs all around from that exhibition routine. She really did a great job.
Allison Kemper will be up in an exhibition.
Punch double full. I love how many exhibitions they're doing. It's also really important at the beginning of the season. You see less of them as the season progresses, but I think it's important for the coaches, for the girls themselves to get used to everything, to feel the equipment, and to know what it feels like to compete in this kind of environment.
Speaking of the season, we're coming up in a couple of weeks on the halfway mark, approximately. So you're getting into the part of the year where things start to settle in a little bit, and some of the questions you had in January are not so big, perhaps, in February and March.
Yep, things shake out throughout the season. You know who's likely going to be going where for regionals, and you have guesses here and there. It really does come to fruition as we get closer to March.
There will be postseason activity on this floor for LSU and the remaining field.
It's exciting to host a regional. Madison Ulrich on balance beam for LSU.
The SEC championship is on March 21st. It's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Then the regionals will be April 3rd, 4th, and 5th across the country, including here in Baton Rouge.
Madison's got a great beam routine going. Back handspring full and a half with a stuck dismount.
The Tigers in exhibition roll. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the third rotation of tonight's meet.
So replay that dismount again, back handspring, full and a half. She should be happy with that score.
That's Ulrich on the exhibition. And as we get set for the final rotation, before we move forward, Jay Clark will come over for a brief word with us. We'll get his assessment on what has transpired so far. You don't come out of a gymnastics meet with a clean coat, do you? There's a lot of chalk that usually finds its way.
Lots of chalk, lots of mat moving,
Sure.
Lots of girls hugging you after they finish their bar routine. So Jay definitely can't get away with a clean coat. And yeah, it's flying everywhere. So
well, he's making his way over right now. Jay, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I got you.
First, 13,000 of your closest friends are in the building tonight, and they saw the LSU Tigers score their best team score of the year in Bolt. What a way to start.
Yeah, it was a great start. Kids performed well over there. That part was good. You can tell I'm a little frustrated with some of the other things that are going on, but that part was really good.
What's been your message to the girls? I saw you huddle them up after beam. What were you telling them?
Well, I mean, it's a combination of we're not performing all that well in spots, and then the erratic nature of what we see in terms of, they get distracted by some of the things that they see. So, you know, it's they shouldn't, and it's my job to make sure they don't. So they got a little tight, and they got to settle down and finish this thing strong. I think we've had some bright spots in here tonight, but we've also started measuring and getting tight a little bit, and it's showing up somewhere.
Jay, thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Jay Clark, a couple of years ago, national championship coach at LSU, the first in the history of LSU gymnastics. Over Penn State as we get set for the fourth and final rotation. But first, a look in the rearview mirror at some of tonight's highlights.
Here we are at beam for LSU. We had a highlight of Kaylin Chio, 9.925 on this event. She is just so close to perfect every time she does it. And then Alyssa Kramer on floor for Penn State had a beautiful floor routine, lots of difficulty in those tumbling passes, and an outstanding routine. And then we go back over to beam for LSU. Exhibitionist Lexi Zeiss had a great routine, absolutely incredible, and she put up a big number for the LSU Tigers.
The Tigers have 147.975, Penn State 146.925. You can see the way this evening has unfolded here before 13,000 or so fans in the Maravich Center. We'll come back and wrap up tonight's meet with the fourth rotation. After this, we move to the fourth and final rotation. Penn State this year has defeated Yale and Illinois on the road, Maryland at home, and then at Rutgers last week. LSU, meanwhile, is looking for its fifth victory of the year against only one setback and one draw. It's not so much the record that counts as it is average scores. I mean, records, of course, are built into all sporting events, but you're not competing so much against the opposition on the floor as you are the scores of everybody on average across the land.
Yes,
and that's the way the rankings are figured, and it's all objective, that's for sure.
It is, and both of these teams not competing against each other, competing against the rest of the NCAA to see where their scores fall.
You can theoretically have a losing record and be one of the best teams in the country, depending on the quality of your schedule.
It's true.
This is always one of the fan favorite events. LSU's team kind of goes through a dancing, chirping routine before it hits the floor, and the crowd gets electrified for a lot of this floor routine for LSU. Over the years, this has been a favorite, and there have been a lot of great floor performers for the Tigers.
Ellie Monahan on beam, starting things off for Penn State. Penn State got a 49.025 last week on balance beam. Ellie got a 9.775 versus Rutgers. Got a solid routine going so far. She seems calm and confident. That dismount, round off full and a half. Small hop on the landing, but a really good start for Penn State over on balance beam. Just that front toss into a back handspring swing down. You don't see those very often, but I love when I do. And then that dismount again.
Tiger fans, it's floor time! And first on board with your Fighting Tigers, Emily Ennis.
Emily Ennis with a 9.863 floor average this year. She's been quite the contributor.
And she is in charge of setting the tone tonight for on the floor exercise for the LSU Tigers. It is a big job to have, and she has been doing it very well. They call it the fire starter. She captured the NCAA regional floor title in 2024, and she got a 9.95 at the Berkeley Regional, so she is no stranger to this event or the success. Full and a half punch layouts. Deep series.
It's always nice when you go into the corner, smile at the judges, and they're smiling back.
That is always a friendly sight to see. Makes you feel a little bit better.
That's pretty solid.
What a great way to start this floor lineup. That was a beautiful routine. Front handspring double full. That first tumbling pass from Emily. And the final one.
Now we go back to the beam with Ashley Mall.
She's hit an incredible series on the balance beam. The judges are looking for high toe on each of their dance elements in between their acro skills, making sure they go all the way up on releve.
If you're waiting for Emily Ennis's opening floor score, here it is, 9.875.
High fives all around for that beam routine. It was a good one.
It was.
It's that round off full and a half. She gets the stick.
Next on board for LSU, Nina Bayou.
This young lady from Boca Raton, a first-year Tiger, Nina Bayou.
She got a 9-9 last time out. I love her floor music. It's so different. And her tumbling is so powerful. Opens with a huge double layout.
This is going to be a youngster worthy of your attention over the next several years, especially on this event.
I think so. She had quite the club career. She's a 5-time national champion and a 3-time Nastia Liukin Cup qualifier. And she was among the top of her division at most competitions. So she's got a lengthy resume already and just getting things started collegiately.
From South Florida to South Louisiana. She does some things in her routine you don't often see. Just little things that add some pizzazz to it.
Yep. Front layout to a Rudy. The crowd loves it. She knows it was a good one.
There are big scores in her future, that's for sure.
Here's that opening pass, a double layout. I'm interested to see what the judges think of that one because it was pretty good. She got a 9.75 last time out. Kalia McElligott. Back handspring layout. It took up the whole length of the beam. She made it look easy. I promise it's very hard. And that triple series, the judges take note of that difficulty.
McElligott is following a 9.75 and a 9.85 from her two previous teammates. Value on floor score was 9.875.
Finished that off nicely. That was a pretty decent routine. Loved the triple series. See it again. 3 directly connected elements. That dismounts.
And next up, please welcome Kylie Cohen.
Kylie Cohen up next for LSU on floor. She made her floor debut at the Podium Challenge. Got a 9.9, a career high. And I have loved seeing her on floor. She's so fun to watch. Her tumbling is beautiful. She's got lots of powerful elements.
Is there a little Caribbean music to this? A little Caribbean flair?
There could be, yeah. I love how each routine is so different and it's choreographed to the girls' personality. Front layout to a front full. See that leap series. She did that very well. That's also difficult. And ends with the Tiger Roar. It's a great routine. Keep things going over there on floor for the Tigers. There's that front double full. Last tumbling pass. What a great job.
Here's Amani Herring, who also competes most of the time as an all-arounder. She's a senior from Glen Rock, New Jersey.
Toss into a back handspring. Whenever you go forward and then immediately backwards, it's so hard to stay square and directly connect those elements. Switch side. She looks very confident on this event. It's a tucked front full for her dismount. Hugs all around. That was a solid beam set.
How about Kylie Cohen on LSU floor as we take a look at the end of this beam routine? But Cohen scored the highest she has This year, a 9.925. That exceeded the 9.9, which was her season's and career best. A big moment for Cohen.
She deserves it. She's worked really hard, and that floor routine was beautiful. Samari Drayton up next for the Tigers. She is capable of putting up a really big score as well. She got 9.775 last week, had a little trouble, but not tonight. She's capable of going well over 9.9 on this event. She went 9.925 on floor 4 times throughout the season last year.
Tighten your seat belts because there's impact on the floor right now.
This whole lineup's incredible, but especially as you get down to the last 3 here, you get power, you get big tumbling, and really big scores. Front through to a double tuck.
Wow. Wow. This young lady could probably win a dunk contest.
What a great routine.
The energy, the pizzazz, the effort, the height. That's pretty darn good.
It truly had it all.
We'll see what the judges react to.
There's another look at that double layout.
Just a perfect landing. Look at the height here. Wow.
So well done. That's about as good as you can do those 2 tumbling passes. Hugs from Coach Courtney Griffith. That's awesome. You worked so hard for this one moment, and when it all pays off, because you did it perfectly.
And it's less than 2 minutes, right?
It's true. You worked so hard for less than 2 minutes, but that floor routine mattered and should put up a really big score that she really deserves.
So we are waiting. Amari Drayton's score. Chio and Lincoln will follow on floor for LSU, but first back to Beam.
Alyssa Kramer up next for Penn State. Set up for her acro series. Back handspring layout. Front toss. Penn State has been incredibly consistent tonight on the balance beam. Lots of calm and confident beam workers in this lineup. Punch front full to cap things off, and another great beam routine from Penn State.
Here's a teaser. We have Drayton's score that's just been handed to us. It's not a 10, but as close as you can get. 9.95. That is a season's best and a career tying number. What a huge performance for Drayton.
It's well deserved.
Kaylin Chio, still a youngster in her young career at LSU, certainly a crowd favorite. She burst on the scene last year as one of the most remarkable first-year gymnasts in the land. And here we go with Chio on floor.
Oops, it looks like there was a mess up with her music, so that will not be a deduction. As soon as she realized it wasn't right, she stepped right off. so she'll just get a clean slate and get to start right over.
This is like a rain delay in baseball. Is she going to do it without music? Nope. Here we go.
Caitlin got a 9.95 last week. She nailed that tumbling pass. So much height. There's just so much to say about Caitlin Chio. She has done so much in such a short amount of time for the Tigers. She's been SEC Gymnast of the Week several times, and she's gotten it the past couple weeks as well. And it's because of her consistent performances.
And I think it's fair to say that she is stepping into the void left by the departure of Haley Bryant.
I would agree. She had big shoes to fill, and she's doing a great job. She had some trouble on that pass there. It looked like she kind of knocked her hips back a little bit.
Not a disaster, though.
No, she made it work. She finished strong.
Kalia Lincoln will finish up on floor for LSU following Chio. Now we go back to Beam now. This is Donnie Latronica.
See the replay from Chio. Not the routine she wanted. See, she's getting some words from Jake Clark. He's just trying to talk to her, make her feel a little bit better, give her some advice.
This young lady is one of a couple of sophomores who are going to be counted on not only this year, but also in the next pair. Chio was a 9.8.
And for her little mishaps here and there, that's really not a bad score. It's just not her usual. Sarah Brown at Penn State, we talked about her a little bit earlier, but she has done such a good job as the head coach here. The last 3 years, they were at regionals for 3 consecutive seasons, and they're building, and they've been in the 196, 197 range all season. You can tell just from their performance tonight how consistent these girls are. They don't let much shake them.
Fourth score for the Tigers, Caitlin Chio, 9.80.
Another look at that dismount.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the floor, for your Fighting Tigers, Kalia Lincoln.
Here's Kalia Lincoln. She's going to wrap it up on floor for LSU. There'll be a couple of exhibitions following this.
Kalia got a 9.95 last time out, and also shared the floor title with Caitlin Chio last week at Missouri.
How many teams in America can run out your final 3 on the floor as good as Drayton, Chio, and Lincoln?
I don't think many. Huge double layout like it was nothing. I think we'll see a 10 in her near future. She's just so good on this event. All of her positions, all of her tumbling. She's very aware of where she is in the air and gets the landings exactly where she wants them.
Very nimble, very energetic, very stimulating with the movement to the music, and very powerful. We're going to see some of it right here.
Front layout to a punch bowl. She definitely did her job.
Her teammates like it. So did this crowd of 13,000 or so.
Another look at that double layout, sky high, and what a landing.
What a way to start, huh?
What a great night for Khalil Lincoln.
So we'll have some exhibition action here. And total the final numbers for you.
For score for the Tigers, Khalil Lincoln, 9925.
9925 for Lincoln.
Pretty great floor routine.
No doubt.
She should be proud of that.
Next on board, an exhibition roll for LSU, Lexi Zeiss.
This is Lexi Zeiss, the sophomore from Omaha, Nebraska. This is an exhibition on floor.
Very nice first tumbling pass. I love seeing Lexi out here on floor. She's got such a fun routine. Taking some deep breaths here. You need it at the end of a long floor routine. It's short, but it feels like it lasts forever sometimes. 4.5 to punch layouts. Very nice routine from Lexi Zeiss.
For the Tigers.
Penn State will be back home February 8th against number 11 Michigan State, and follow that with a home meet against Minnesota on the 14th, Valentine's Day, before going back on the road on the 21st of February at Iowa. And this LSU team will take on Auburn on the 13th of February right here, and then go to Oklahoma on the 20th, and then host Alabama on the final Friday in February here in Baton Rouge. And then it will be a couple of meets on the road before Arkansas wraps it up on March 13th before the SEC Championship. Madison Ulrich waiting to get started here.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the floor for the Tigers, Maddie Ulrich.
Maddie Ulrich exhibitioning for LSU on floor. Just getting right into her first tumbling pass. double layouts. I love how they're saying LSU in the middle of the floor routines. I think that's something new the past couple seasons. LSU's total floor score from the 5 top scores, 49.55, and that's without the bigger scores that we normally see from Caitlin Chio, and that's still an amazing floor total for the Tigers.
LSU's lowest rotation score tonight was on the beam at 49.225. And the vault was a season's high 49.475, bars 49.275, and floor 49.550 as LSU wins this meet comfortably over Penn State and is now 5-1-1 on the year. 197.525, Penn State 196.125. The Nittany Lions suffering their first defeat in 5 meets this year. So we saw a little bit of everything. Some people step forward for LSU. There's still some room for improvement. You heard Jay Clark say he was a little disappointed in a couple of the events, but nonetheless, another very nice score for the Tigers, who came into this meet ranked 3rd in the country.
They had a great night. There were some bright spots here and there. They haven't put together a full meet yet, so I'm imagining what that's going to look like, because it's going to be incredible. If you have a 197.525 and don't have a complete meet, think about what that's going to be for the Tigers when everybody hits the way that they need to. And Penn State had a great night. 196.125, incredible road score. They showed consistency all night.
Well, there is your all-around winner, Caitlin Chio again. You see her scores. That's excellence. 39.6, her total score for all around, and it just doesn't get too much better than that.
It doesn't. She was near perfect on vault and balance beam, of course. Had a little trouble on floor, but to then get a 39.6 all around, she still had a great night.
So that wraps it up. LSU is a winner over Penn State. As we say goodnight from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. For Kaylee Dixon-Abood, I'm Lynn Rollins. Thank you for spending some time with us as Penn State and LSU have done battle, and LSU comes away with a victory in Baton Rouge. Good night, everybody.